couple of good friends. What more could you add to make it special? Well, I'll tell you what you can add. You can add shitloads of money, gambling, round robins, teasers. We have it all here on Brunch Betting. That's right. It's XFL Jim, Chase, Lupin Fiasco Sesums, and Eric, Uncle Rico Magoo, giving you the best sports plays you can find. That's right, bitches. It's Brunchtime Betting. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Brunchtime Betting. As always, it is me, blurry camera, XFL Jim.
Look, this is what happens when a guy is coming right down in your face.
Yeah. Joined, of course, by Chase Sesums, a.k.a. the Wolf of Oaklawn. And, of course, the incomparable, the immeasurable, the man himself, Eric, a.k.a. Uncle fucking Rico.
You want it? I'm going to give it to you right now.
Am right. Oh, thank you, Sports Facts. Appreciate it. Let's make some money. First race starting at Churchill in 30. What's the bet? What do I bet in the Derby? Coming in hot.
Let's see. First race. I know that Matthew DeSantis really likes the Shug McGahee horse here. I actually kind of thought that you could take a long shot here with the number 5. I believe it's Banded something is the name that is sired by Practical Joke. So it's got some really good pedigree for horses making their first time starts, as well as horses making starts on wet dirt. It's at a huge price. It's Derby Day. It's a maiden special weight race. It's in the slot. Fucking dream big.
And he's not on my pick 5 ticket, so guaranteed win right there.
Yeah.
Guaranteed winner right there.
We'll get to our Derby picks eventually. We will. Is there anything in the sports world, in the brunch world, that you guys want to talk about before getting into picks?
100 men versus Gorilla.
Oh, that's been going on like all week. That was the whole thing.
Oh, dude, I got the answer to that. It's Gorilla wins 100-0, and it's not even close. I watched the documentary Chimp Crazy on HBO Max twice.
Those are chimps, though. That's different.
Yeah, they're different because they're bigger and more powerful when they're gorillas.
Dude, I think 100 people could easily take a gorilla. Easily.
Really?
There's this.
Easy.
What a lot of people don't know is that the Planet of the Apes films are actually documentaries that were shot in a different timeline. Gorillas would fuck up 100 human beings. It wouldn't be close. It would be
they don't have the stamina.
Victory. Fatality.
It'd be so easy. 100 is too many people. I bet 50
windmill those gorilla arms.
First of all, 25, at least 25 are just going to fucking run.
Well,
after the first
Eric, I don't know if you saw the original tweet, but it did say 100 people that are about that shit.
It doesn't.
People have to be about that shit.
It doesn't matter.
Everyone says it doesn't matter.
Everyone says they're about that shit.
I think it does. I think like 10 people are gonna die right away.
Everyone says they're about that shit, dude. But when you see fuckers dying, man, you're like, run, motherfucker.
Well, is the gorilla about that shit? Like, what is gorillas aren't super violent all the time.
Dude, they're fine for their lives, man.
So are the people.
Dude.
If they run, we just shoot them.
There you go. It's not like a toddler fell into like the gorilla enclosure and a mama gorilla like is going to like coddle the thing until the zookeeper comes. No, this is a fucking pissed off male silverback who's ready to just start snapping off your face. These monkeys tear off faces, Jim.
We gotta fight like the monkey. Start going for his dick.
Face. Just
start pulling at faces. Dick twist.
You're gonna get the dick twist, you're gonna get the face pull, and we're gonna get out of this mess.
Yeah, but while they're twisting my dick, there's 35 other guys that could just get right up on him.
Do you know how big a gorilla's hand is? You know how many dicks he can twist at the same time?
Yeah, you can twist like 5 at the same time, 5 or 6, but you can't get like 2. You can't get 100 guys.
We're assuming that he's
gorilla we're talking about,
at
not
this
fucking
point
Bonnie
using
Blue.
the dick twist as a weapon. At this point, he's got a varied arsenal of attacks that he can use.
But there's still 100 people. It's not like we're taking them on one at a time.
Yeah, but like you're like hitting the gorilla, and I guarantee your punches aren't doing shit to that.
Oh,
gorilla.
for sure. But if you get that many people, you just get enough people going for the eyes, going for like the weak spots. Yeah.
It's like a nice shiatsu. Listen, I'm setting that line at 99.5, and I think you get the over.
Dude, easily 100 people win. Easily.
Dude, no.
Yeah.
No.
Easily. You guys just haven't done enough animal battles. Power ranking. Gorillas aren't
like
even the top like ape.
It's like that Instagram account that's like, how would you deal with this? And he's like, first a DDT.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, that was a good talk.
That's fun.
Yeah.
You boys ready to get in some picks?
I'm always ready, man. Let's do it.
Eric, why don't you start us off?
First bet. Maybe I'm just a stubborn old man. I played the spot last 2 nights, lost both, but I hit the Tigers live after they lost. But the matchup keeps calling my name, especially because the Angels can continue to struggle against right-handed pitching. On the season, Angels ranked 29th in batting average, 21st in runs against righties, flat out bad. And if we shrunk the sample size down to the last 2 weeks, even worse over the stretch. Dead last in both batting average and runs scored against right-handed pitching. Tigers have Jack Flaherty going on the mound. Been solid, 1-3, 3.34 ERA, 1.11 WHIP. More importantly, he's facing some of the top offenses in the league. This matchup against the Angels by far is going to be a huge step down in class. I think it's going to benefit him greatly. Other side, Angels are rolling with Kyle Hendricks, who's really struggled. 0-3, 6.65 ERA, 1.39 WHIP. And if you look at his last 3 starts, it's gotten even worse. 11.25 ERA, 1.75 WHIP. I fully expect the Tigers to get to him early. Tigers 21-12 on the first 5 run line this season, 48.3% ROI when favored. Angels 9-22 on the first 5 run line, which translates to a negative 27.3% ROI. Again, give me the Tigers -0.5 for the first 5 at -115.
I like it. I likes it. Chase, where are we rolling?
Yeah, I'm going to be just horse bets today. Churchill Downs, race 5. It's now an ice cold exacta after scratches here. I'm playing an exacta and a win bet, starting with number 2, moving on up for Safi Joseph Jr. With Jose Ortiz up. This horse is the speedball on the front end. I don't think anyone wants to go along with this horse, so I smells loose horse, and I think that moving on up wires this field. Sacred Wish brings up second behind him. So win bet on moving on up and an ice cold exacta 2 with 6.
I will explain before getting into my picks. I'm going to explain my process. So Eric saw me last night near the end of the stream for the UFL game. I was a little boozed up. What I did is I got more boozed up, and then I looked at all the lines and I let the numbers speak to me. So the numbers spoke to me, and they told me to take the Los Angeles Clippers on the money line at +107 versus the Denver Nuggets. So that's what I did. Because Kawhi Leonard's playing at a great level, and I feel like the Nuggets, I feel like not having a coach comes to bite you in the butt sometime, right? Has to.
Right.
Has to. Right. Give me the Clippers, +107. Eric!
I am all Major League Baseball today. My next bet, I'm taking Ian Happ over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs at -120. He's been hot. He's gone over his number in 4 of his last 5 games, and his career numbers against Jose Quintana are limited. But in the 8 at-bats, he does have 2 hits. In the last 2 weeks, he's batting .533 against lefties, 8 hits, 4 runs, 2 RBIs, clearly seeing the ball well. Now, I love Quintana and what he is doing for the Brewers. Numbers suggest regression is coming. He's carrying a hefty 94% left on base rate, which is unextainable. His expected ERA is 4.42. With Happ in this kind of form and Quintana due for some negative regression, I can see Happ getting the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at -120.
I dig it. Chase?
I feel like baseball is negative regression season, whereas basketball season is positive regression. season.
I feel like football's positive regression season too.
Also positive regression season. Yeah. No, my next play is a ice cold daily double starting in race 7 at Churchill Downs, which is the Twin Spires Turf Sprint, going 5.5 furlongs, of course, on the turf. I'm going to play an ice cold daily double using the number 8 Rogue Lightning for Tom Clover with Flava Flav, Flavian Pratt up. This horse just came in from Doha, where it won a Group 3 in Qatar, then shows up, runs a really game second in the Shakertown at Keeneland over a track that's going to be it was a little bit softer, wet, had a little cut in the ground, as we like to call it. So I'm using that horse, and I'm daily doubling into race 8, the Churchill Downs Stakes, which is 7 furlongs, to the number 4 Giant Mischief, who I believe is either 8-1 or 12-1. That I'm also going to be win betting. This is a Brad Cox horse for Spendthrift Farms with Manny Franco up. And when Manny Franco and Brad Cox, when the man Cox gets together, look the fuck out.
Damn right.
But the came off of a huge effort, ran a 101 buyer speed figure in the Whitmore Stakes at Oaklawn behind a horse named Booth, who's probably the best sprinter, might be the best sprinter in the world right now. So not gonna be facing anything like Booth. So we're gonna win bet Giant Mischief and close out that daily double that started in race 7, 8-4 Giant Mischief, number 4.
As the numbers were speaking to me last night, I remembered the show's called Brunchtime Betting, so I had to have a breakfast theme to it. One of my favorite things to get for breakfast, of course, is a breakfast burrito. Best breakfast burrito I've ever had in my life is in a little place in San Diego. So then it just dawned on me, I must take the Padres over the Pirates. Pittsburgh, terrible city. The Pirates, breaking the law. Padres, respectable. San Diego, great tacos. Great breakfast burritos. So I took the Padres straight up, minus 102.
I've never been to San Diego. Oh, I've been to San Diego once. I want to go back.
Recommend.
Jim, there's literally a horse named California Burrito that's like a long shot running today.
I have my horse already chased, and I have my reasoning for it. I did see one.
It's not a Derby horse, I don't think.
Okay, then I will probably get on that horse.
Okay, I'll find it for you. Sorry, Uncle Rico.
Oh, no, we're good, dude. My final one, Marlins Athletics over 8 games at Lone Depot Park are quietly trending over this season. 10-7 to the over, good for 58%, 11.5% ROI. Over the last 2 seasons, the number jumps to 68.4%, 31.5% ROI. Max Meyer, starting for Miami, 4.5 ERA, 1.31 whip on the year. He was lit up his last outing, though, 11.25 ERA, 2.25 whip. Oakland has quietly improved against right-handed pitch, and I think they're going to be able to do some damage. Meanwhile, the A's send out my boy Bideau to the mound. Over the last 3 starts, he has posted a 5.63 ERA, 1.5 whip. Faces a Marlins offense, which over the last 2 weeks is 8 in the league in runs scored against right-handed pitching. Bottom line, we have 2 struggling pitchers, 2 sneaky offenses, and a park that trends to the over. I'll take the over 8 here in the Marlins and the Athletics.
Okay. Chase.
Jim, California Burrito is the number 3 in race 6 at Churchill Downs, the Pat Day Mile.
Okay. I'm
12-1.
I'm on. I'm in it. I'm on it.
Okay. All right. My next play is going to be a daily double into the Kentucky Derby itself and the Turf Classic, the Old Forester Bourbon Turf Classic, going 9 furlongs on the turf. I'm going to play a daily double starting with number 7 in this race, running B. This is what we call the other Chad. Chad Brown's got 3 entries. This is the second one in favoritism by the morning line odds. He also gets Flavian Pratt up. So I'm singling that horse. And then in the Derby, I'm going to finish out my daily double, which I'll have Derby bets specifically, but I'm going to finish out my daily double with the 3 Final Gambit. Once again for Brad Cox, except this time he gets the Axeman Luan Machado up. And then I'm going to use number 14, Tiz-tastic for Steven Asmussen with my man Joel Rosario in the irons at 20-1. Yeah, he did. And Do you know how much it pays to be just like one of the best like turf trainers in the world? Just give me a dollar figure.
I don't know.
The answer is enough to beat the case. That's how many dollars he gets paid. Enough to beat the case. Yeah, she like broke into his home, something like that. And I do believe he might have like choked her a little bit, maybe thrown her down a little bit of stairs, I think, maybe. And nothing happened. About Detroit
it's
sports. Crazy.
That does sound, Eric, that description sounds like you. His name sounds like you.
That's not, this guy messages me all the time.
No, I'm just saying old Bay complaining about Detroit sports sounds like
that is me in a nutshell. But this guy
your burner, yeah.
To be on my show. I gave him a chance and he just ghosted me.
I am doing the numbers were speaking. They were calling out Washington Nationals plus 166. It was easy. That was an easy one to fade Cincinnati and the Reds. Easy. I have a lot more. I don't know how many more you guys have.
I mean, like I can go through all my bets today if you want me to. I have a ton.
Yeah, keep going because I got more. I got plenty.
All right. All right. Let's go to. Hold on. I gotta pull up this other note. Sorry. There's a UFC card tonight. I am going to take RDR at plus 300 and also at him just to get one takedown at plus 400. This is simply too good of a price for someone of RDR's level of experience and grappling pedigree. We're talking about a black belt in both judo and Brazilian jiu-jitsu versus a guy in Bo Nickel who has earned a purple belt. Major difference here. RDR has 13 submission wins for a reason. Transitions are smooth. Hunt's finishes constantly extremely comfortable. On the feet, Nichols is really raw. Striking is really awkward. He lunges at these wide shots. It opens up a lot of stuff to get him to the ground. Doesn't really do a good job of piecing combinations together and leaves himself open in exchanges. RDR may not be a world-class striker, but I feel he's more technical, more composed, and more powerful in that matchup. Another stylistic piece, RDR's judo base actually matches up well against Nichols' wrestling. He's not easy to take down. He can reverse positions when in the clinch. On top of that, we've seen Nichols look hesitant to shoot when he faces fighters who can threaten him on the ground. Look at the Paul Craig fight. He looked unsure, didn't commit to the takedown. We didn't seem comfortable on top control. And this is by far the best fighter that Nichols has faced. RDR has been in legit competition. He's gone long in fights, and he's used to adversity. Bo Nickel has yet to deal with that. If RDR can push the pace, press forward, and get Nickel uncomfortable, we might see Nickel make his first big mistake under pressure. Now, with the half of takedown, if it's a situation where Nickel pushes him up against the cage, he can just do a jiu-jitsu trip, and that's a takedown. And basically, that all I need is one, plus 400. Nickel is going to go for the clinch when they're standing against the cage. This is easy in my eyes. Plus 400 is just too good to pass up. So that's a UFC bet for me.
Chase, how many more do you have?
I've just got my derby bets left at this point.
Me and Eric can bounce back and forth here. I got a bunch. The numbers as they spoke to me. I'll just finish out my baseball ones real quick. I'm taking the Brewers straight up minus 105, the Dodgers minus 103, and over 8.5 in the Marlins Athletics game.
I have Misha Tate via decision. I mean, she's a vixen. Enough said with that. But she's just going to grapple. She's just going to sit on Santos. Santos, 42% takedown defense, is basically at 1-3 in her last 4 fights. Hasn't been submitted, so I don't think Tate's going to be able to catch her. But Tate is showing she's not going to do anything to put herself in danger. That means getting this fight to the ground. That's what I expect her to do. I also in UFC took Cameron Smotherland. To me, better striker, more athletic, and he's fighting a guy in Sidley who won't take him to the ground and is going to look to stand up and is more of a kickboxing type guy where his offense is kick centric. Historically speaking, when you have a boxer against someone that likes to throw kicks, the boxer is a big advantage. So I get a guy that knows how to manage distance, has better hands, better defense, more athletic and quick, and I'm getting plus 116. No brainer. I don't have the trend in front of me, but I took under 101 in the Nuggets and Clippers for the first half. I also took the Nuggets on the money line minus 118, and then I took under 1.5 goals in Game 7 of the Avs and the Stars game tonight.
You took what for the Avs Stars?
I took under 1.5 goals, and I also put a little bit on no goal first period at plus 390.
I took the over 5.5 in the Avalanche Stars game. There's a lot calling out to me, so I'm just going to go through these.
Just a feeling.
In the German Bundesliga, I'm taking VfL Wolfsburg on the money line versus Borussia Dortmund plus 775. I'm also taking AFC Bournemouth and Arsenal to get a draw at plus 280 because if I'm betting any soccer, you have to take a draw. Speaking of which, MLS, Nashville SC versus Atlanta United FC, draw plus 270. Toronto FC versus New England Revolution. I actually have Toronto winning that one. I think they're pretty good. Austin FC versus Minnesota United. Give me Austin. And then also under 160.5 in the Washington Mystics, Indiana Fever, WNBA game going on today. That's what I unloaded the clip today.
There we go. The banana clip too. You're really like 30.
Damn right.
Yeah.
No way you're betting all that shit. Yes way I'm betting all that shit.
I can verify.
That's a lot.
100% bets this shit.
Jesus.
I've seen it. I've seen the stacks of tickets before, like 50 tall. I've been there.
What is going on right
There was
now?
no Japanese baseball to bet today, though. I think they're off.
What about KBO?
No. Also no KBO, at least on the book that I was looking at.
You fuck around with KBO, Jim?
I fuck around heavy with KBO.
We fucks around with the NC Dinos.
And the Henshin Tigers. I like
man.
that too.
Don't forget the Samsung Doosan Bears things.
Oh, shout out Doosan Bears. Shout out the Doosan Bears. Do we want to give parlays or anything before we go to do we want to finish with the Derby?
I'm good with whatever, guys. Whatever you want to do.
Eric, what's your little round robin?
I did RDR takedowns, Ian half over 1.5 total bases, and there to be no goal in the first 10 minutes of the hockey game tonight.
I like that. I took the Memphis Showboats straight up versus the Roughnecks. It would have been nicer to get that earlier in the week because I think it opened up at like a 5.5 point game, and now it got all the way down to 3.5. But I took the Showboats money line plus 167. I took the Clippers because fuck you. And I took the Nationals plus 166. Cheeky little 3-teamer.
I took the Clippers because of fuck you.
Yeah.
I
did that part of it while I was listening to you talk about your Nuggets pick. Because fuck
the
you.
Clippers because of fuck you.
I also did another one of the Padres, Nationals, Brewers, and Dodgers. That's just a regular parlay, not a round robin.
Respect.
I think that brings us to
Let's get it. All right. So there are two horses that I've been talking about all week that I really like. I don't know how the track is going to play today, so I'm not going to change. I might change later in the day, but that's between me and my priest. I am going to play number 14, Tiz Tastic to win, trained by Steven Asmussen, owned by Witchell Thoroughbreds, sired by Tiz the Law, out of a mare named Keisha, who's by Tappet. So there's distance in the pedigree, which is good for the 1.25 mile distance. I do think that there will be some pace to run into, so I don't think that the horse is pace compromised. I've got the best closer in the game, Joel Rosario, up. So I'm betting Tiz Tastic to win. Last time I saw in the live odds, he was around 18 to 1. The other horse I really like is the number 3 Final Gambit, 30 to 1 on the morning line, taking a lot of steam, cut in half to about 15 to 1 now with Final Gambit. And a lot of that is I like the distance pedigree there. And I also really like that the horse is coming off a synthetic surface, because sometimes horses really take a step forward going from the synth to a natural dirt surface. And also, like, I like to see like a performance on a synthetic surface as a good indicator that the horse might like a sloppy track too. So that I think helps Final Gambit even more. So I'm betting Tiz Tastic to win, but in an exacta, I'm going to use 2 horses in first. The first is going to be the 3 Final Gambit. The second is going to be the 14 Tiz Tastic. Then I'm going to use those 2 horses in second, but also use 2 other horses in second with them. One is going to be the 8 Journalism. He's the favorite. If those speed figures are real, then he should be around at the end. And then the other one, I'm actually making a slight audible. The 12 East Avenue for Brendan Walsh, owned by Godolphin, Manny Franco up. This horse, I think, is probably going to be the fastest horse early and might be on the lead, depending on what the surface is doing. If it is like sloppy and sealed, like it might really be carrying speed horses forward. So I think that horse becomes really dangerous, and I think it's being pretty well ignored on the board right now. I think it's not taking very much money at all.
Jeez, I have a random question for you.
Sure.
I'm watching my pick 5 ticket lose right now, and it looks like it's a wet beach, the track.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that being said, is there any horse you're just going to be like, oh shit, you're out?
Let me take a look. There are some that just haven't run on a wet track yet, which I mean is a good number of them, but usually I kind of think of like California horses that are coming over from like UAE, the Saudi horses and stuff, like being a little less fans of the dirt. So I don't think there's anyone that you can really toss this year because of the wet. I think you more just have to include more horses because of the wet.
I like Luxor Cafe. Maybe I'm just bitter because Forever Young should have won last year and didn't win. And I just want to be part of one of the Japanese horses actually do win one.
Same girl's name.
And also, you know what happened 10 years ago? American Pharoah won the Triple Crown. This is an American Pharoah horse, not a typical Japanese horse bred over here in America that went over to Japan. And then lastly, I will play the narrative. Cool Battle. Lonnie Brealey's first ever horse here. Before this horse, he had never entered a stakes race. He entered 3 of them. Worst finish was 3rd with Coal Battle. Could be this year's Rick Strike. I'll fuck around with it.
Yeah, I do like Coal Battle a lot more with it being wet. That's for certain.
I had one horse and one horse in it. Like the way I do the Kentucky Derby is the same way I do mini horse races. Actually, not really. I do this one different. I just look at the names and, like, similar to the numbers, the names call out for me. If you had to pick one horse that you think I would pick, what would that horse be?
It would be the Japanese horse, Luxor Cafe.
I do like that horse. I do. But the Luxor is a trash casino, so it kind of steered me away. Did not go with Luxor Cafe. Did not. Did not. Eric, what's your guess?
The horse, let me hold on to it.
I don't think you guys are going to be able to get it because this is kind of something that happened at work, but it is very fortuitous.
You found a chunk of gold.
No, I wish.
No. You rendered judgment on somebody.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
No, we were discussing cuckoldry, and I said it would be hilarious if they did like announcing, like sports announcing as a cuck. So like, who's the John Madden of cucks? And it's like, here's a guy, and he's just ready to tear up this field. So the number 1 Citizen Bull is the horse that called out to me.
I feel a little bit bad about myself for like knowing definitely what you're talking about.
We're rolling with Citizen Bull.
My phone, like my incognito browser's like, someone say our name. Yep. I'm ready. That's awesome. So here, so one, Bob Baffert, fuck all y'all revenge tour for Citizen Bull. 2, the horse has to be a dead send from the rail because everybody's going to be moving over in the rail, and like usually it's a death sentence. So I mean, if the horse is fast enough to outrun everybody at that rail and get on the lead, Citizen Bull's got a shot.
I didn't even know it was a Baffert horse.
In the first race, for full transparency, I am out of my pick 5. The tradition continues. Yet to get through a pick 5 leg so far, my 3 tip. But Leperoux got the lead with Fountain Lake and was able to hold on.
Yeah. So don't ever put too much stock into maiden races and maiden special weight races when you're like trying to figure out what the track is doing, because they're typically won by horses that go like gate to wire. And so like if you're like watching the early results and it's a bunch of maiden races, you'll get tricked into thinking like, oh, it's speed. Speed is carrying like crazy, when in reality that's just kind of how the races are run. So I start paying attention about around the fourth, and also probably around like 2-3 p.m. when I think the rain starts to clear out and it starts to kind of start drying out. Start paying attention then, because it might really start to change. Like it's going to be like its own evolving organism pretty much all day.
All right, folks. I think that'll do it. Go enjoy your brunches. Go enjoy your Derby. You guys going to have a little special beverage today for the Derby?
I don't know. Maybe I'll get off the wheel and have a glass of alcohol.
I think me and my boys to pin here are gonna be taken care of. So Motown Phillies back a pin.
Damn right, baby. Love you guys. We will see you next time for another episode of Brunch Betting post Derby. Bye bye.